It's black fatigue. Woo! This was part
one. Oh boy.
Steven, I'm gonna need you to stick to the college kids.
What's up with all these Stevens, man? They fucking up. Stephen A. Smith, Stephen Crowder. God damn.
Yeah.
Jesus
so
Christ.
This first clip is a friend of the show. I'm gonna have great comment. This is Andre Williams' synopsis on Stephen Crowder.
Oh my God!
This white man said this in a black barbershop.
You have young white people who are getting more and more mad. I'm just telling you the truth.
What they mad?
And they have the guts. They're mad because this thing. Here's why. Here's why. They go, look, I'm 12 times more likely to be killed by a black person than you are a white person. And you go, well, that doesn't count. They go, look, my dad's business got burned down.
Yeah.
My city got burned down. I've been accused of being a racist, even though I'm not. And I'm looking at this right now, and I'm not allowed to have an opinion. And I can't go into certain neighborhoods because I get my ass kicked. And then you just say, yeah, but you've had systemic power. That is a surefire way to breed racism.
Stephen Crowder is right. White guilt is dying, and black fatigue is growing. Black people are the only people in America that fail to take any responsibility for our own actions. And everyone is tired of it, not just white
Don't
people,
he look like
minorities as well. White people have given everything to black people. And black people love to spit right back in the face of white people. And they're getting fucking tired of it. This is how you can tell these men have been raised by nothing but single mothers. They take no responsibility and they're bitching.
Oh my God, here we go.
Nothing but excuses coming out of grown-ass men. This is why I consider Black Gen X to be the worst generation in the black.
Thank you. Shut this nigga up, please. God damn.
Hey man, he up his clothes game. He look kind of fly there, you know.
Yeah, but his hairline looking like Stephen A. Smith. The shit looking lost.
Gray, what do you think of his summation of Stephen Crowder barbershop debates?
I feel like with Andre, he's always gonna flip it to black people. He's always gonna say something disparaging about black people. What Stephen Crowder was talking about was how white people feel about what black people are doing. And that's why I'm always tell people that white supremacy is going down. White victimhood is going up. So it's more so that what he's saying is white society is seeing a certain group of people that they feel like are doing something, getting away with something, and they don't, and white people being affected by that. Like gentrification, oh, well, that means that white people can't live there, that type of argument. So I don't agree with what Stephen Crowder is saying, but with Andre, he's always going to look at what the black community is doing rather than trying to look at what everybody else is doing.
Oof. Well, this is the video on white fatigue. I'm going to allow Kamal to go next.
Head up, and we tired of all these school shootings and all of these road rage and all that. Who do we say something to? Who hears our voice?
And when does the white fatigue kick in?
And when does the white fatigue kick in?
Well, we've been hearing about white. That's the point, right? We've been hearing about it all our lives, about white fatigue, about systemic discrimination.
But nothing's ever been done. That's the problem.
It has been done. Here. That's why we've done systemic justice reform that has led to more crime, right? That's the reason for no three-strike policy. That's the reason for cashless bail. That's the reason for catch and release. The reason for it, in the wake of Black Lives Matter, George Floyd riots, Summer of Love, was we're going to reform crime, we're going to reform the justice system, and it's gotten worse everywhere it's been. And then when white people leave those neighborhoods, well, now it's white flight. If they come in, it's gentrification. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of people who are pissed off, and they're not going to sit down and have this conversation and be real about it. And they're going, well, what happens when someone has to keep their mouth shut about everything?
Kamal, are you concerned about how whites are feeling about the black fatigue? And do you feel like you have white fatigue?
First of all, they're using the fucking black fatigue word wrong, like they're using woke. Black fatigue was written, it was a book written by, I'm about to get her name right, Mary Frances Winters. And black fatigue was how it sounds. We fatigue of y'all microaggressions and white supremacy bullshit. That what black fatigue was. So they're getting the word all wrong. And first of all, I'm always thinking like, when have y'all been silenced? Like, let's start with the bullshit. Stephen Crowder, first of all, you Canadian, nigga. Go back to your Canadian bacon and fucking go hang out with Drake and shit. I'm tired of that shit. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of these motherfuckers coming to America and they fucking shit up with the narrative of stuff. Get the fuck out of here. Go back to Canada. You said that Canada was a shithole. Which, by the way, shout out to Fatty. I was watching his channel. He said that Stephen Crowder lied about that. And also earlier, I was on a Beans channel. Shout out to Beans. And we was talking about goddamn Stephen Crowder. And this motherfucker he just lied throughout the whole video. First of all, you know what he lied about? He said that. Basically, black men, look, white men are 12 times likely to get killed by a black man. That's fucking a lie. God damn it, Canadian bacon. You're lying, bruh.
Is that the per capita lie? Because you know how they like to say, but per capita, it happens. Per capita.
Man, it ain't even a per capita. Homicide, because he's talking about killing. That's what he's saying. 79% of white victims are harmed by white offenders. 89% of black victims are harmed by black offenders. So you do the numbers. How the fuck can we be 12 times likely to harm white folks? They don't even make no fucking sense. This nigga lying out his ass. Take your ass back to Canada and go make some songs with Drake and shit and tell them stop suing motherfuckers over diss tracks. These niggas grifting, man. And I think the people, the black people in the barbershop, because I was listening to them too, I think they all on the grift, man. Because they was bringing up some dumbass points.
You think so?
Hell yeah. I think they were on the grift too. Oh my goodness, man. Because they were not pushing back on anything
to call him the H word or the C word. And if they didn't call him the H or the C word, it wasn't enough for you. You wanted them to say, you're a... That's what you wanted.
I wanted them to push back on what he was saying. A lot of times they was like, I agree, but what about what over here though? No, push back on what he's saying. What you mean by we 12 times likely to harm y'all? It don't even make no logical sense. What? First of all, black fatigue, you're using it wrong. Like you're using like y'all remember that clip that white lady was on CNN or MS? She was on one of them fucking shows, and it was like, so you wrote a book about woke. She was like, yes, I did. Yes. What does woke mean? Oh, she starts skitting and scatting and shit. She didn't know what the word mean, but she wrote a whole book about it and getting paid from it. Remixing shit, don't know what they saying, but they say it with conviction, right? And people just sit there and be like, yep, believe it. Yep. So that was my opinion on the shit. First, like Steven Crowder, man, take your ass back to fucking Canada and fix that shit up alongside with the Trailer Park Boys. Y'all ever watch that show? Great.
Yes.
Great.
I love
it's fucking hilarious, bro.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
I live pretty close to Nova Scotia too. I can take the ferry over if I want to. Oh,
Okay.
I love Trailer Park Boys.
It's having
Yeah,
all
every
season, every movie.
Fucking Canada, man. I'm tired of this shit, man. God damn. It's just,
well, yeah.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
I am flabbergasted that you guys have seen Trailer Park Boys. 10 out of 10. If you guys haven't watched it on Netflix, you need to watch it. It is so stupid. It's hilarious. I literally live for Trailer Park Boys. One of the best shows out there. But to play devil's advocate, I think Steven Crowder is wrong in a lot of things. However, the truth, he did tell the truth. As a whole, I do feel like a lot of white people do no longer have guilt anymore for whether their family partook in slavery or whatnot. Because, I mean, most white people in the United States, families had nothing to do with slavery. And then even more had nothing to do with Jim Crow, because a lot of them immigrated after slavery and after Jim Crow, point blank period. The largest immigration time period in the United States was during the Reconstruction era, which was after slavery. So 99% of white people in the United States, families never even owned slaves. So eventually,
yeah, but no offense, Mia. Hold up. When y'all say shit like that, y'all minimize the systemic things that have happened to people of color and black people in this country. I don't give a fuck when they got here. There is a systemic issue in this country. And when you say that, you're basically giving talking points to white supremacists to say, oh, they all came after, so it doesn't matter. Then why do we have that hierarchy? The reality is that does happen. There was a reason why affirmative action was put in place in the 1970s, because there was fairness to people of color and to black people. So
I'm not negating that. That's not my point. My point is that through education, affirmative action, white people did have guilt. They did feel bad. They did have guilt. They did become allies. However, we have seen over the last, I'd say 5 to 8 years, with racist being thrown out and the woke culture and the democratic culture going on that a lot of people are tired. They're no longer feeling guilty because they're feeling attacked. So do we think that a lot of these people, if we didn't allow woke culture to seed so deeply in society and paint people as something they may not have been, that maybe we wouldn't be in this problem?
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't give a fuck what white people think. I'm just being straight honest with you. Like, I care what they think in the fact of having unity, but as far as how they think about black people struggle in this country, things that black people are asking for, because they don't care. You know, the biggest thing that black people are asking for right now is reparations. I'm not foundationally black, but I understand the pain and why they're asking for it. Although I won't benefit from it, if CARICOM gives something to Jamaica, I would benefit from that. So I can't dismiss what people are saying. But when you say things like that, I'm going to say with all due respect, you just give white supremacists okay to say, oh, well, they don't need that. We came after. That doesn't matter. Like, no disrespect. I'm just being honest with you.
All right.
But anyways, the next clip that we're going to play, I'm going to have Kim respond to it. It has to do with George Floyd and ties into why people are fighting for the things that they're fighting for.
Riots. Let me tell you something right now. Listen, in the black community, I'll be the first to acknowledge we do have intractable problems that are not going to be solved in one conversation. But what I'm going to say about that, as well as the reason why the black community becomes so infuriated, all right, is when you see gross negligence of justice happen or misjustice happening and nobody does anything. When this guy kneeled on this man's neck, or going back to George Floyd, look, if he had done something when he was subdued and on the ground, what was the real reason for kneeling on his neck except to inflict fatal harm? What was it?
I can tell you exactly what it was, and I can tell you why you're not recognizing the problem. Because the opinion polls, and I'm not saying right or wrong, the opinion polls have changed on George Floyd since I last spoke with you. You know why?
Why?
All the body cam footage came out. You know what? You know why? Because he was there for 12, 15 minutes, asked to be put in the car. They put him in the car, asked for air conditioning, gave him air conditioning, asked to be taken out of the car. They took him out of the car. He wouldn't stop moving. People have watched it now and go, you know what? It's not what I thought it was. You know how many times he was arrested before that? 9. He shouldn't have been. You know what would have saved him? 3-strike policy. He robbed a woman at gunpoint with a child in the house. And so white people look at it, young white people, right, who you have to understand during COVID, this is a whole generation of people. White people did not have any fucking opportunities during COVID. They didn't get to go to the graduation, college, black, white, all of them, right? It's a generation that's pissed, rightfully so. They got screwed. I think we can agree on that. They're going, I watched my city burn down for a guy who was arrested 9 times and committed violent crimes against women. What?
Then leave, nigga.
That's a travesty.
Red
of justice.
kid, dickhead.
Let me say the CS.
How many felonies
God
did
damn.
President Trump have on his record? Yeah, he was still allowed to occupy the most.
No criminal felonies.
He has no criminal felonies, but he's got moral felonies, which would, if there was a court of justice for that, he probably would be tried a long time ago. I mean, let's talk about it.
Is this where we all get on board with crazy white bitches who accuse men of rape?
No,
like, I thought she accused 26 men of rape, that crazy.
And Red Kid, I'm about to clown your dumb ass. Keep talking in the chat. Keep on talking, bruh. I'm gonna be on your ass, nigga.
You're muted, Nora. You're muted.
Let me be clear. I love all people when I said that. But what I'm trying to say is I'm not looking for white tea acceptance. I want acceptance from God, from Jesus. I don't care if white tea people accept me. But when you say things like that, you're saying, I'm okay. I'm looking for white tea acceptance. Please, please, please give it to us. And forget the pain and the struggles and other things people have gone through. I would not say that about Irish people. They've been through a lot. I would not say that about Italians. But when you bring that up, it's like kind of like dismissive. And again, I care about all people. But anyways, Kim, you can respond to the George Floyd argument.
Man, I wish I would have been at that barbershop. I would have stepped in for sure. This guy, the Steven Crowder guy, he's funny. It was almost like a comedian skit, but one of the best studies that, because this whole, it's not just, it's happening everywhere. I saw the Dave Smith, Nick Fuentes interview, and I think people are not addressing the race topic with regards to, I suppose you could say, white fragility or white, what was he saying right there? He was calling it what was that word? He said fatigue. There you go. A lot of the times people like to dismiss race issues and say like it's not a race issue when it really is. For example, if you substitute like a certain situation, and there have been polls with in this situation, and you're seeking for empathy from a poll, when it's regarding like a Black person, and you substitute that out for literally any other race, people will in polls find more empathy towards that same scenario when it's not a Black person in that situation. One of the best examples of this is reparations. A lot of people, like my homie Bernie Sanders, has argued that monetary or cash reparations for descendants of freedmen would not help the Black community because there are other ways to address income inequality, right? But Bernie Sanders and other not just liberals but conservatives as well are in favor of the billions of dollars paid to reparations of Holocaust survivors. I think over 90 billion by Germany alone. So when you substitute that out, like, are you in favor of reparations for descendants of freedmen? A lot of people will say no, but if you substitute that out for, like, in that example, Holocaust survivors, people will say yes. So there is a race issue there. I don't think that the conversation is going in the right direction, with a lot of the emboldening, overt, sometimes racist conversations coming from the right. I think we're really kind of more backpedaling with regards to the race issue, and also with regards to the criminal punishment bureaucracy. You can say whatever you want about George Floyd, but he shouldn't have been killed for anything, even if he had a history of offenses. That's more of a reflection of the failed criminal punishment bureaucracy than it is of George Floyd as an individual. But yeah, man, that guy Steven Crowder was funny.
Well, he gets funnier, and since they love to talk about reparations in the chat, I mean, like, if you want to make a certain group of people cringe, bring up the word reparations. That's all I'm going to say.
Personal accountability. We'd all be against reparations, and we'd all be against the criminal justice reform.
I'm definitely for reparations.
See, that to me, you said excuse. Yeah. That sounds like an excuse to me.
You ain't paid me back. You ain't paid me for what you owe me.
What did I take from you?
You can't start another bill.
What did I take from you?
Until you pay this old bill.
What did I take from you?
You didn't take but your ancestors.
But you just said you.
Well, when I say you, I meant it as you for me.
But can you understand why white people hear it and get pissed off?
Yeah.
Because I can take shit.
But they're not mad about the advantages that were built into their lives.
So you want young people to pay? Sounds like an excuse.
Nobody wants to address. And
sounds like an excuse.
Even without paying us back, Steve, know my thoughts are on this here. Give us an opportunity to exercise our ability and our autonomy. Let me give you a perfect example.
Man, Gary, man, we begging for you not to play with your dog ass, but you still do it. So I guess we ain't getting what we want, huh? We got a bunch of idiots in the chat today. God damn.
I triggered them because I said if I just said I don't care about the white tees, they would have been fine. But when they heard reparations come on, they got triggered.
I noticed something. Either when we talk about reparations or when Enzo starts talking about MAGA, the chat be going crazy. They be talking hella shit all the time. It never fails. Never fails. You saying the most asinine thing too. It make no sense, bro. PD Pablo up here sounding goddamn retarded. Don't know how to count. He counting with his fucking.
I know. I told him to use his second hand. He's like, I got to 5. I was like, okay, buddy, use your second hand.
Out here, I don't know his ass from his hand. Red kid, he want a friend and shit. Man, bro, look, bro, you need to start worrying about why your mom is your aunt, bro.
Well, we about to really trigger them. Enzo, you don't change your position on reparations. What you think? I'm not trying to pressure you. If you change it, it's okay. But they about to really get triggered. Either way, they're gonna be triggered when they hear you speak. So
when it comes to reparations, like I agree with the premise of reparations, like I said, because we've had reparations paid out for other people who have been affected for whatever reasons, most notoriously the Holocaust, right? But to break it down to show like my biggest thing, I agree with reparations, giving cash to people who were affected. The biggest issue that I've always thought about it with tracking that down through your lineage. If you can prove that you are somebody who was affected because of slavery, 100%. How do we really track that? There needs to be like a great system in place. Or I think if there was something more in place, a lot more people would get behind the idea of it. That's the
like
issue we have.
no one can ever tell you the plan of it. That's my biggest issue of
Yeah.
why I gotta say it. If you can tell me a clear plan, I'll support it. But there's no like clear like plan on how do you know how is it going to be doled out. Like that's my issue. There needs to be like a plan on it. And I think once that is seen and heard, people probably will understand it more. But the reality is, it's like if you die and you are owed insurance money from an insurance company and your next of kin is owed that money, that's the reality of it. It's their next of kin. And unfortunately, this is the next of kin.
I'll say this, and I'm gonna talk to my Black Americans because I mean, thank you to my uncle because he's a historian and he traced back our lineage to like 1830 or whatever. Y'all just talk to y'all fucking grandparents or your parents or uncle or somebody within a Black American household or your lineage is going to have records of your shit. You feel me? And it's going to trace back. That's my advice to you know what I mean, because you know Enzo and Nora is bringing up a great point to track back our lineage, and that's kind of how I track back my lineage of my Black American roots and stuff like that. But back to this chat, man. God damn, y'all niggas retarded. We had somebody named Benjamin. How did the Jews get reparations? Nigga, Google, Chat GPT, please. Perplexity. God damn. Just type it in. How did the Jews get reparations? And you'll get your answer.
We paid the Japanese Americans reparations for putting them in internment camps during WW2. During World War II, my bad. I said that messed up. During World War II. So there is absolute premise for the United States themselves to pay people indirect cash payments or in installments for anything that has been inflicted against their will by us. I mean, the premise is there. So, I mean, there's no reason that we can't, whether it's we trace our lineage, whether we take blood tests. My biggest thing is it going to be like Native Americans where it's blood quantum, where if you don't have X amount of FBA blood, you won't qualify. You know what I mean? Because even Native Americans, they have their own little hierarchy there. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to get paid out by the tribe unless you have to have like 50% or 75%, and you have to come there and you have to prove it and you have to register and be tribal and get your little ID and everything. So I wonder if we need a plan, because Nora's right. There really isn't a plan. So if there's no plan, then we can't implement this plan.
I know some of the tribes, they do 20%. You got 20% Native American, the red Native Americans in you and shit, then yeah, you could get to them funds and stuff like that. You feel me?
Oh, okay. I qualify. Let's go.
You better
Let's go. I'm 20%. I'm qualifying. Let's go.
Man, you might be losing out on some money. You better check in. You better see for real. You know? But yeah.
And would someone like me qualify though?
What's up?
Would someone like me qualify?
You say you?
Mia.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm using an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's half your.
I mean, if they dropped if they made the threshold 50%, I'm good. If it's like 51, I'm bad. I ain't gonna make it. But if it's 50%, I'm good. I'm gonna get a payout. So we gotta figure this out.
Yep.
I don't know, because like when I was on Dana with the Data's panel one night, people were saying that people like in your situation, Mia, and Dana got mad because her grandkids are half FBA, half non-FBA, and they were like, no, you gotta be full FBA, you gotta trace it back. So like that's the problem. Like what
that was that one woman though. She was the only one that was saying that. She's trying to construct something.
A lot of people say that, Kamal. and also like what would be palatable, since for the white tees that got mad because I said I don't care about white tees, because remember, the reality is majority of this country is not black, is not FBA. Majority of this country wouldn't benefit from this. So how do you come up with a plan that doesn't cause a riot with the rest
think
of the
about
country?
it though. See, I gotta push back on that. How wouldn't y'all benefit from it? Y'all money going to fucking Ukraine, right? And that money ain't being spent in America. If y'all give us the money, we're gonna spend at y'all fucking businesses. We're gonna spend in y'all fucking grocery stores. We're gonna be spending Amazon, all that shit. We're gonna be spending right back in America. That's what I don't
I'll
get.
say it for you, Nora. As the resident Italian man on the panel, I hate white people. Come for me.
Well,
Y'all
Enzo,
annoy the shit out of me.
Real talk. No, seriously. Were you offended by what I said? Did you got the point of what I was
No.
saying? I'm not
No.
looking for y'all to accept and understand what we're saying. We're trying to educate you, but you don't have to agree with it. That's my point of what I said when I said I don't care. Of course I care about you guys. Of course I care. You guys are Americans. I didn't mean it like that, but these people got their panties in a bunch.
If they gonna come sideways, that just means they're ignorant. That's it. That's all that means. They showing who they are.
But
I get what you're saying. You don't care about the opinion of people that follow that weak ass ideology of white supremacy.
Yes, because nothing we say they're gonna understand our struggle. Just like I care to hear about Enzo's struggle as an Italian American. Italians and Irish went through a lot in this country. In fact, they weren't considered white tea at the point. All of a sudden, when the floodgates started opening up, when all the other immigrants came from all over the world, all of a sudden they want to accept them as white tea. This was like the 70s and 80s when they became considered as white tea. But before that, they weren't. And Enzo, am I lying?
Not at all. Okay. I wish my grandparents were here. I would get stories from them.
Yeah.
I tell you guys stories. I wish they were here so I could ask them. But I've heard plenty of stories like them, or like my grandmother and my grandfather growing up in New York City. They were not allowed to do anything. They were not seen as people because they were Italians.
True. And they couldn't live anywhere. They couldn't live everywhere. They had to live in the small sections. But here's the next top video, guys. This is kind of long, but it talks about how they feel like black people don't have power. Is that true? Has that changed since Obama? Let's talk about it. Here we go.
More crime. Right? That's the reason for no three-strike policy. That's the reason for cashless bail. That's the reason for catch and release. The reason for it, in the wake of Black Lives Matter, George Floyd riots, Summer of Love, was we're going to reform crime, we're going to reform the justice system, and it's gotten worse everywhere it's been. And then when white people leave those neighborhoods, well, now it's white flight. If they come in, it's gentrification. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of people who are pissed off, and they're not going to sit down and have this conversation and be real about it. And they're going, well, what happens when someone has to keep their mouth shut about everything?
Nobody tell you have to keep
That's how they feel.
Yeah.
That's how they feel.
I don't believe white people have to keep their mouth shut. I think white people don't speak up about a lot of the things that they do and they perpetuate that affects us negatively. That's the stuff that nobody wants to. The issues aren't made about those things. I really respect the platform that you have because you do have open and honest conversations. And I have to say, I don't believe that those numbers about the black people murdering white people are correct. I don't believe those numbers are correct.
What if they are? What if I'm not lying to you?
If you're not, then I've been misled and I've been isolated from realistic numbers. But I know in this country, from the time that we got here and until now, there's never been hordes of black people that just go out and maraud and menace white people. Interactions happen and things do occur. I'm not saying that they don't, but not by and large in number. We can't be this small a percentage of the overall population and still have the numbers that people try to perpetuate on to us. See, black people do more harm to other black people than we do to other white people.
Well, that's true. That's true. Because people were close. That's true.
We also have historical evidence of
he just debunked himself right there.
Attacking and chasing black people.
So it's
coming after.
So when people say
it's not happening now.
So I'm just saying,
and that's the point. Is we're at a precipice right now.
That's a part of the historical condition.
Well, sure, but someone today.
Hold on. I wasn't finished making my point. I wasn't finished making my point. When like I said, black fatigue, that's the newest mantra that's been put out into society to make people think that, okay, they tired of black people. They tired of what you said, that we can't say anything about black people. We can't do. Well, when you hold all the power, when you hold all the economic rights, when you hold all the things that make this country move, when you're in charge of those things, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know what? I put it like this. White people got the firecrackers, we got the stem. That's it. Y'all got the power. The power is placed outside of the black community.
Mia, do you agree with that? That black people have no power, or do you think that we've come a long way? It's 2025.
I think that two things can be true at once. I think that we don't have as much power as we should. And I do think in 2025, we have come further in the last 100 years than we were before. But we definitely don't have as much economic power. And, you know, it's all done by design. I mean, given our fertility rates, we should be 40% of the population. But unfortunately, back in the day, Margaret Sanger got into the government, and now, 40% of all abortions that happen in the United States are by Black women. So, and over 1 million happen per year in the United States. That's 400,000 Black American children that are not being born. Imagine if we stopped that and we started having our children and keeping them, we would be 40 to 50% of the population. And thus, we would have the economic power to make real change. They keep us the minority for a reason, so we don't rise up. And it's literally simple mathematics. If we were allowed to actually propagate, have real families, we would actually have the economic power to change the face of this country because we would have the population. But they keep us weak and they keep our population low on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna play this next clip. I'm gonna have Gray respond. This is Steven Crowder talking about that white people are mad.
White people who are getting more and more mad. I'm just telling you the truth.
What they mad?
And they have the guns. They're mad because this thing. Here's why. Here's why. They go, look, I'm 12 times more likely to be killed by a black person than you are a white person. And you go, well, that doesn't count. They go, look, my dad's business got burned down.
Yeah.
My city got burned down. I've been accused of being a racist, even though I'm not. And I'm looking at this right now, and I'm not allowed to have an opinion, and I can't go into certain neighborhoods because I get my ass kicked. And then you just say, yeah, but you've had systemic power. That is a surefire way to breed racism.
Gray, me and you had a nice little discussion this morning. Why are the white boys mad, Gray? Why are they real mad, man? Why are they so
No,
mad?
you can tell them why you said that they mad.
I'm gonna tell you why I think they mad. And you know what? I don't give a fuck if chat comes from me because again, I already set the precipice. I'm not looking for white tea acceptance. I love white tea people, but you don't gotta accept me. This is why I think y'all mad. Y'all mad because white tea women are going after the blacks, the Spanish. They mix it with everybody else. And I learned this from Nick Fuentes. I'd be mad too. A lot of y'all are incels. I'm just saying. A lot of y'all are incels. These women, they don't want to, the white tea women, they feminists, they white feminists. They don't want to have babies. They don't want to get married. They don't want to go on a date with you. And they over here busting it wide open for Tyrone up the road. That's what I think.
Hey, for the chat, I didn't say that, but Nora said that.
You know what he said? You know what he said? White women love me. That's white.
I never said that.
White tea women love me. This was before his girlfriend. Girlfriend, if you're watching, this was before you. How much white tea women you get? How you get all the white tea women?
Nora, you being the vanilla, bro?
That is what he said. I promise you. And so I was like, you know what? I just had an epiphany. They're mad because of all the white tea women leaving the coop.
What my response is gonna be is that in a way he's right because this is what they hear. The Republican Party tells them these are the scapegoats, these are the people ruining your lives. The Jews are controlling you, the Hispanics are taking your jobs, the blacks are committing crimes. They are told this day in and day out, whether they're on social media.
No accountability. There's no accountability on their part. It's always everybody else.
And when you have a scapegoat and you can say, hey, those people are the problem, that makes it easier for that tribe of people to get along because they're not going to be fighting so much with each other because there's a scapegoat saying, hey, those people are the problem. It's not you guys. Those people are the problem. Don't worry about who's rich and who's poor. Those people over there that don't look like you, they're the problem.
I mean, I gotta agree. I mean, listening to the whole black fatigue thing, and also someone said fix the culture. We fixed the culture. I just looked up stats. Black people are better now than we've ever been as a people collectively. In 1962, only about 25% of Black Americans had completed high school. By 2022, that risen to over 90%. In the early 1960s, 50 to 51% of Black Americans were living in poverty. By 2021, the rate dropped to 20%. So I'm sick of this whole black culture sucks. It's garbage. It's terrible. Like, I mean, if y'all want to learn about black culture, go learn about it. Stop saying that black culture sucks. Am I wrong? Come on, what do you think?
I mean, let's be real, man. Motherfuckers be trying to emulate black culture every day. I could pull up right now. I'll show y'all somebody from another race emulating some black culture. Black culture is American culture at this point. Let's be real. We have the same kind of vernacular. We all be saying the same kind of shit at this point. Somewhat dressing similar. You feel me? Like, let's stop the bull crap, man. Like, at this point, people just want to wag the finger at somebody. That's what I'm seeing. And like Steven Crowder lying like a motherfucker though. He be lying on top of lies though, man. God damn. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm reading this chat. Man, Red Kid, bro. I swear, you probably the dumbest motherfucker we ever had in this chat, bro. God damn, you an idiot, bro. Red did you ranking mean? I don't know anything. Oh my God, what does this mean? God damn. And PD Pablo, if you don't like us talk about race in this channel, get your simpleton ass out of here. Because that's the topic at hand, you fucking idiot. God damn.
I mean, did we talk about race or did Steven Crowder come on? He literally calls the show Black and White. And it's one of the top shows right now. Y'all can look it up. Y'all don't like it, go to call Steven Crowder. We're reacting to his shit. He brought it up. We just reacting.
Yeah, Petey Pablo, I'm sorry that you keep stroking off your dog, bro. We telling you to stop doing that bullshit, bro. Take your ass somewhere, bro. For real. And that's the thing. It's like, we're talking about race because Steven Crowder is bringing up race within the video. We're reacting to somebody talk about race. It's like, God damn. Man, see, I don't want to believe that the American school system is failing us, but damn it, every day in the chat, y'all show me that the American school system is failing us. God damn. Bring back critical thinking. Goodness gracious. Bring back listening. Jesus Christ, man. This shit is absurd. Shout out to the chat, though. Y'all keep chatting away, though. You feel me? Keep chatting away, Red Kid. You know what? You need to send a super chat.
Wait, and did this person just prove my point, y'all? Please read it.
Oh,
Crowder
he said,
is
Crowder
lonely
is just lonely
because his wife left him.
His wife fucking left him?
Didn't I? What did I tell you? Why are white team men mad? They mad because they bitches keep leaving.
Did you guys not see the video? Steven Crowder's wife, pregnant with twins. He was like nasty. I mean, her family and her released the videos. I see why she left. I would have taken my pregnant ass too. I would have been like, I'm out here. I'm going back home.
What did he do?
He was just being very, very verbally abusive to her. I don't remember. Don't quote me. I don't remember if there was physical abuse in the video, but definitely there was narcissistic abuse and definitely verbal abuse going on in the video. And I think there might have been more than one video because it looked like it was a home recording from like somebody's house. So we're getting it in real time from the house. I'm assuming the wife's the one that released it, but it happened, I think, 2 years ago. I want to say, I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before. But yeah, it's on the internet. So, I mean, he's divorced now.
Mia's telling the truth. I've heard of it, but I didn't really follow it at the time. Like, it's bad.
Damn.
That's why he's going to the black barbershops.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I gotta say something now. Bro, this is just like it's crazy how like, okay, his wife left him. He all mad about that shit, but he like, man, look at this black on black crime, man. This is why my wife left my ass. This black on black crime in Chicago, man. Y'all got to get it together. I'm like, bro, this shit is hilarious. You got some more Steven Crowder we can listen to? This nigga's a clown. I'm ready to
I have one last clip. I have one last clip that we can all react to and close out with. This is Steven Crowder on white excuses.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. The tension is already there. White people are afraid to go in black neighborhoods because
So
of
should
stats
black
they don't
people
believe.
be afraid to go to school because a white person go come shoot the school up?
Right.
Because every time we see
It's
that,
not even close.
that's what keeps
It's
happening.
not even close.
Church.
But now you're going to ignore. Now you're going to ignore that.
I'm scared to go to church.
You're scared to go to church, but you're sitting in the barbershop with almost 12 black men. Come on, Steve. Now let's be realistic.
Who do you think's more at risk sitting down right
Exactly. He know he's not in danger around us.
No, I'm in much more risk. I'm in much more risk.
Poor white T. Steven Crowder. He's in danger.
You know I just watched my friend die, right?
Steve, let me say this. Know what bothers me about white people, and this is kind of where no, not everything. Not everything.
But we smell like wet dog or something. I've heard all this stuff.
Let me tell you what bothers me about white people. Let's be honest here, because I work with a lot of white people, so I have nothing against them at all. Let me be honest with you. But the problem that the biggest problem that I have is that you constantly get bombarded with the excuses, all right? When you really come down to it, let's be honest, man, and let's be really truthful with one another. Ask yourself, what do you expect when you look at architectural oppression, economic depravity, and social disparity? What would you call it?
Bad decisions.
Huh?
Bad decisions.
Bad decisions.
Yeah, I think right now in 2025, it's bad decisions. I think everyone can make better decisions.
And you know what? I'll even go here with you. In all fairness, I think that's absolutely true. So my question for you is, how do we move past this?
Yeah. Okay.
How do we move past
I agree with you. I agree. And I think maybe we'll find some common ground here. If we agree there is personal accountability and bad decisions, and I think we also all agree that feminist white are the worst demographic in the country, along with lesbians.
There's a great book that says, and they were her property.
Lesbians catching strays now too. Shit. What did the lesbians do?
And I mean angry white feminist bitches and lesbians, because if they didn't vote, we wouldn't have half of the shit. And this is one thing I appreciate about black men, that white men are so black men can talk about these things, and black men are okay being masculine. White men are told it's sexist. There's a lot there. Personal accountability decisions. Now, just take that and apply it. What you kind of just did here is you blamed white people, without realizing it, for systemic discrimination, and that removes autonomy from a white person to be accountable and also rewarded for their good decisions. So if we agree it's bad decisions, personal accountability, we'd all be against reparations, and we'd all be against the criminal justice reform.
I'm definitely for reparations.
How are you gonna say you're not for accountability, but you're gonna be against reparation? That's fucking stupid. That's the true form of accountability. God damn. And my story, I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to be on your show, bro.
Me either.
You're a fucking idiot, bro. You're like, Chicago a hellhole. I've been there 1,000 times. Why would you go to a hellhole 1,000 times, bro? You better say you live there. Because if you go in there all willy-nilly on your own accord, bro, god damn. Jesus Christ, man.
He doesn't want us anyways. He made that clear. Come on. He only wants me. So don't feel bad. Oh, hit me up. Y'all need to hit. No, bro, you asked us. We gave you our email. You can hit us up.
Oh man.
Anyways, interesting. Well, time for closing thoughts. I'm gonna let Gray go first. Gray, what's your closing thoughts?
Great show, lots of laughs. Nora, you trying to expose private conversations? That was funny. But what I think this main thing is about is people having uncomfortable conversations. So what I would say is, like, kudos to Steven Crowder for going there and having the conversation. At least he had some pushback and people were there and we were able to react to it and we're able to have the conversation. So I would say, like, if we keep having these types of conversations, maybe we'll get to a common ground. And that's the same thing with Gaza, Israel, that it's just a ceasefire, but maybe something will happen. At least people are talking. Like we always say, a new party, always vote.
Yeah, for sure. Always vote. And my closing thoughts are, listen, you guys in the chat are a little bit sensitive. I'm gonna need you to get some thicker skin. I love all people. I love all Americans. I love everyone around the world. I like Steven Crowder. He's funny. I actually am a fan of his show, believe it or not. But I gotta call out a spade. He done went to the hood to go get him some clickbait, get him some views, and make some coins. But hey, shout out to you, Steven Crowder. And also, guys, heads up, we are looking for members of the new party. For those that do like us and those that don't, you can still come back, join for $1.99 from now until Christmas. You can join and get exclusive emojis and get a badge next to your name, as well as our member-only content. I will be going to AmFest in December, so I will have exclusive videos that eventually we'll be putting up. So please support our channel. Kimberly, it was your first show back. What's your closing thoughts?
Thanks for having me back. I would be remiss not to shout out my homie Barack Obama because somebody brought him up earlier, and I'm being facetious. Barack Obama decimated Black wealth when he bailed out the banks after the 2008 recession. The real solution to uplift not only the Black community, but the poor community in the United States would be to tax work less, tax wealth more, and also monetary reparations for descendants of freedmen.
Oh, man. Drop that bomb.
Hold on, Kim, you saying freedmen? You talk about Barack Obama didn't do shit, and they're going to be on your ass, Kim. They're going to be on your
Barack Obama and the Democratic Party are bad for Black people. They decimated Black wealth.
Oh, shit.
He was funded by the big bank. He bailed out the big banks after the 2008 recession. The Democratic Party, and I'll piggyback off of what Gray said. He said something like, man, my mind went blank, but yeah, it's the two-party system has failed the American working class for sure. And Barack Obama decided to intentionally bail out the big banks rather than to bail out the American people, and Black wealth was decimated. I believe from an average, I'm not going to say the numbers off the top of my head because I don't remember, but the real solution to that would have been to bail out the American people.
So do you think Trump is better then?
No, absolutely not. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that it is better to have the conversation out in the open and expose people for what they really are, as opposed to like the Democrats where they
like they hide their hands.
Right. They say we're for the Black people, we're for the American working class, but that's not exactly the truth. Whereas with the Republican parties, you get what you see, especially with Donald Trump, because he's just so brazen. And I think it is better to have the conversation out in the open. And I do agree, everybody should vote third party. Butch Ware for California governor.
Who?
Butch Ware.
Who's Butch Ware?
I'll look into him.
Yes, you guys should look into him.
Kim, I think you follow me on IG. Can you actually I'm gonna look it up, never mind. Because I'm in California.
I do follow you.
Yeah, I wanna learn more about Berber for real. So
all right, Kamal, what's your closing thoughts?
First of all, PD Pablo, that was funny what you said, even though I suspect you to be a suspected hunky. He said I'm sweet and sensitive. He joking, but his dumbass don't know sarcasm. Cause when Kim was saying all that shit, I'm like, yeah, I'm agreeing. He like, you blind, bro. I mean, y'all. Hey, shout out to the chat, but some of y'all today was goddamn, man. Y'all was making me lose brain cells from Red Kid to my story. Jesus Christ, man, y'all. Whew. Jesus. Anyway, shout out to y'all though. Y'all was in the chat heavy. Shout out to everybody else. I saw Heaven in the chat. You know what I mean? Doc, he was in the chat too. Shout out to everybody else that's a part of the new party. Also, I got the new party pinned to the top of my chat on my side. So go follow the new party and hit that notification bell so you know when they go live. All right. Also, on my end, Kamal Johnson Network, sub for your bruh. And also hit that notification bell so you know when I go live on my end. First of all, I don't think there will ever be peace in the fucking Middle East, to be honest. These motherfuckers one day is like, yeah, we cool, and then the next day some bullshit happened. Like it's just every day is somebody backdooring somebody. Shit's crazy. Also, Steven Crowder and Steven Smith, all you Steven motherfuckers, man, goddamn, y'all on some bullshit. Goddamn. Even though this is my thing with Stephen A. Smith is saying he trying to be like, oh, you need to be more presentable. I don't care about how Jasmine Crockett is being presentable because the Republicans is kind of on the same shit. You saw Marjorie Greene Taylor was arguing with her and all types of shit. I'm more caring about the policies that she's fighting for. She's fighting for illegal immigrants every other minute. Her and Maxine 32 wigs. Like, the shit don't make no sense, man. You feel
32
me?
wigs.
And Steven Crowder, man, this motherfucker is Liatron. He lied on top of lies on top of lies on top of freaking lies. God damn, man. But he's a good speaker. He speaks well. You know what I mean? But that shit that he's trying to paint he's basically trying to paint the black man as the boogeyman. Oh, white people need to be scared of the black man. Oh my goodness. Da, 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 da. No, crime is proximity, and crime is usually done amongst poor motherfuckers. Just go use Google, ChatGPT, whatever you want to use. Okay, it'll tell you. All right, like, yeah, man, these people be lying, grifting. Now, I'll take it back. I don't know if the black brothers in the barbershop was grifting with them, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were. All right, but I know Steven Crowder was grifting. At this point, the only grifter I like at this point is Nick Fuentes. At least that spicy honky is funny. He's funny though. God damn, he's hilarious. But the rest of them, I'm just be like, oh God, you feel me? And you know what? I do appreciate the opposing views in the chat, though. You feel me? Like, don't take no hard feelings. You feel me? Only person I do have to address is some person was like, "Oh, I'm white. Would I have to pay reparations?" If you come to the United States, you become part of the United States government, and the United States government is the one that pay for reparations. They already do it for the red Native Americans. They the ones sending out money to Ukraine and all types of other shit. And at the end of the day, real talk, if you pay us Black Americans reparation, it's going to help out America because we're going to be spending money in fucking America. We ain't going to ship that shit off to Africa or something. We ain't shipping the money off. We keeping it here. So, I mean, it's logical sense. And also, the last thing I wanted to say is when Nora says she didn't care about white people, she means she didn't care about white folks, anybody else that follow that weak ass ideology of white supremacy. Okay,
exactly.
That's what she meant. You feel me? And at the end of the day, like Enzo, from what I've been talking with and shit like that, he don't follow that ideology of white supremacy. So
nope,
that's what we mean. You feel me? Y'all be all, oh, you hate white people? Goodness gracious! No,
I'm gonna be honest with you. The white supremacists, they be more real than some of these grifters, like you said.
Ooh, shit.
Like Kim said, with the Republicans, you know what you get. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Okay. I mean, I ain't even gonna argue that. You feel me? But yeah. Hey, actually, Mia, when my story hit you up and to be on this show, I kind of want to watch that because I think this nigga a buffoon. But
I mean, like, no offense, Mia, I'm gonna be real with you. If Raw has less than 5,000 subs, I wouldn't go. Like, that's just me. That's just me.
I don't know. He said, Chicago is a hellhole. I've been there a million times. I love it. Like, damn. Okay.
Anyway, guys, hit that notification bell for the Kamal Jensen Network and ours.
Can I say one more thing? I just got a new cat, y'all. And I just found out the lineage of my cat. My cat is Puerto Rican. I shit y'all not. I was talking about Bad Bunny and shit, and he was up there and he knocked all this type of shit down. As soon as I started talking about Bad Bunny, he's Puerto Rican. So Tiggs is Puerto Rican, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
Oh Jesus. Oh God. Okay. Mia, what's your closing thoughts?
This was a great episode. And if you are not following us, please do follow us. We do this Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, you can find most of us on TikTok, X, IG, and YouTube as well. All of us have our names in the headline, so you can follow us there and other places. And to be honest, I'm like so overstimulated with everything happening in the world. I'm just minding my business, man. I'm making jams and apple butter and shit at home. And I think all other Black Americans should too. We need to mind our motherfucking business and stay home and just save money because the world is getting crazy and we don't want to be a part of it because they will somehow make it our fault. So to be safe, everybody needs to stay home, leave ICE alone, and God bless.
Facts, Mia. My story, man. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, please,
Yeah,
exactly. Like people are a little sensitive tonight. Like there's really like I will even remember who the haters were after tonight. But anyways, Enzo, my Italian Charlie Kirk. What's your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts. My closing thoughts are. Sorry for being late. Things were just crazy stuff happening. Um, I didn't catch the first part of it. I know, pretty sure you guys spoke about the Israel peace deal. I'm just happy that there's somewhat of an end to a conflict and the hostages have been freed on both sides. Hopefully, they can keep this up on both sides. Most importantly, today is Charlie Kirk's birthday, so happy birthday, Charlie! Is one thing that we'll say on the panel. Everything else that we spoke about, Stephen A. pretty much just needs to stay out of fucking politics altogether and just keep talking about sports. Steven Crowder. I mean, if you're gonna do these type of things like your barbershop stuff, at least have the statistics right. Like you flip the numbers when you were talking about black on white crime. It's the exact opposite. And so yeah, I kind of lost a bet, so I kind of went liberal, guys. Don't hate me for it, but red hair. Yeah. I've been called a liberal all week for it. It's the funniest fucking thing. All weekend too. So with that being said, hope everybody has a great night. This is a great episode.
Shit.
Facts. Well, thank you everyone for coming. Shout out to the team. We'll be back tomorrow night. Gray, do you know the topic? You think it's gonna be on Charlie Kirk?
No. I don't know. Just come back tomorrow.
It'll be no politics. There's lots of buffoonery that's not even in politics.
For sure.
All right, guys. God bless and good night, everybody.